In this section of the video, we will be studying about the active transport. So what is active transport? In active transport, they go from low concentration to the high concentration. Obviously, when they're going from low to high, they require energy. Hence, it requires energy in the form of ATP. Or in the bookish term, we can say it is uphill movement. For example, we have the sodium, potassium, chloride, calcium, hydrogen, urate ions. And it is of two types, that is the primary and the secondary active transport. In the primary active transport, it takes the help of ATP, that is, with the help of carrier protein, it activates the ATPase enzyme. So, the carrier protein here is of two subunits, that is alpha and beta. That here is the alpha and this one is the beta. The alpha is larger subunit. So, in alpha, what they do is three things. First, there is sodium. Sodium will go out of the cell, and how many? That is three sodiums will go out. Potassium will come inside the cell, that is two potassium will come and activate ATPase enzyme. This ATPase enzyme activation will lead to the formation of or the breakdown of ATP into ADP plus phosphorus. In an experiment, when there is sodium outside when there is sodium outside in more concentration or higher concentration, and it will try to go back in from where it came from, that is to the inside of the cell. And the other condition for the potassium, so it's going from inside to the outside. When this happens, the ADP and phosphorus will combine to form the ATP. This is experimentally done. That is, first we have the sodium and potassium pump. So in a cell, 3 sodium will go out and 2 potassium will come in. Like that, 3 sodium is going out and 2 potassium is coming in, making the inside of the cell negative in charge, and outside making the extracellular fluid positive. So it it forms the electronegative inside, negativity inside, and electropositivity outside. Sodium potassium pump is really necessary for the cell as it determines the cell volume. For example, here in a cell there are a lot of proteins and other organic molecules present. These are negative in charge, and since they are negative in charge, the potassium and sodium are positive in charge. They will attract them. So here inside there will be more sodium, potassium, the proteins and the other organic molecules. Now with this, the osmosis of water also takes place. When the osmosis of water takes place, that is, they are going inside once again, so there will be swelling of the cell will swell and cell will burst. So to protect the cell from bursting, we have the sodium and potassium pump which regulates this function. The next is the calcium pump. Again, once again, in ECF it is more and ICF it is less. So the two condition which it will work, that is cell inside is less and outside is more. And the second, it can happen in intravesicular organs, for example in sarcoplasmic reticulum and the mitochondria. The next is the hydrogen pump in case of primary active transport. The hydrogen pump are present in the parietal cells of the stomach. So they release hydrogen ions, and these hydrogen ions will combine with the chloride ions, forming HCl in our stomach. The next is the secondary active transport. In secondary active transport, they do not require direct ATP. They take the energy from what has been produced in the primary active transport. So they take It is of again two types, the co-transport and the counter-transport. In co-transport, the example is sodium and glucose and sodium and amino acid. That is, this is the carrier protein. Then sodium will attach to the outer side and glucose will also attach to the outer side of the membrane. They both together will come inside of the cell. This is the co-transport. Whereas in counter-transport, outside there is sodium, that the sodium will come inside, and inside we have the calcium or the hydrogen. Calcium will go out or the hydrogen will go out. So for example, here it is present in the epithelial cells of the intestinal lining, that is increasing of absorption of glucose. And the counter transport, the sodium and hydrogen are present in the PCT of the renal tubules. The hydrogen pump in the primary active transport was also present in DCT and collecting tubules of renal tubules. That is, they will excrete the excess hydrogen through the urine. Now let's imagine my hand as one cell. Now cutting this portion over here, we see the picture over here. That is the flat. All the cells are flat here. So here are the brush borders present. Now, well, in this case, first let's say there is diffusion happening, and after this, here or here, even here, there can be active transport or the uh, facilitated diffusion. So in a cell, anything can be happening around, not just only one transport is going on. So that's all in this video.